All right, put a little Westside announcements in your heart on this Friday.
It's Friday, and it really is Friday.
It's Friday.
We're not lying.
It's Real Friday, and it says it's Friday. We're actually filming in the morning because
Breaking news. It's actually
early release. Very weird. Very weird. It's Friday, and we're actually talking about Friday, and it's a Blizzard Friday.
Woo!
So, lunch. Miss Jackson was the first person. Mr. New Rider actually told us. We did not know this, but you brought up Ben and Jerry's.
Mm-hmm.
That Broad Ripple had a Ben and Jerry's. Mr. New Rider brought up that first. That was his. He won overall. And then Mr. Feesback, I actually said I was going to DQ him because he didn't like DQ, and I laughed at my joke in my head for like 20 minutes, and I do that for real too. Stupid stuff. But then Mr. Feesback said, okay, so the first person here is watching this that has a lunch, call us, and then we'll get you your Blizzard today, because he said he would magnanimously give up his Blizzard for someone else because he doesn't like Dairy Queen. So
that's un-American.
So Ms. Jackson, A lunch. B lunch was Doss and Mr. Doss and Ms. Courtney. And then C lunch
probably doesn't like puppies and kitty cats either if he doesn't like Dairy Queen.
So C lunch, I had all kind of teachers emailing me, but C lunch was Mr. Newsom and Miss Peacock were the first two.
C lunch was all about it.
C lunch was C lunch stagger. They must turn on those announcements like right away.
Word was out that there was
word was out.
But A lunch, so I still have one more A lunch opening. So, well, actually, no, Mr. Doss, he owes his advisory something because they actually told him to email in. He goes, I was half listening and like, I don't know if I won or not. So, but yeah, they were all about it. So, get those. Maybe not. Maybe right during. My hope is that they actually eat them in front of the kids so they can taunt them. I mean, I know it seems wrong, but it seems like that's one of the joys. I remember when I was a kid, and your teacher would drink a pop in front of you, and you're like, well, if you want, he goes, he always said, my fifth grade teacher, I remember all the time, if you want to drink a pop in this classroom, go to college and become a teacher. That's why I did it.
Done.
I can
drink a pop in front. Then I really didn't do that to my kids. I was like, if we had some, we had sometimes like bring it, but I was just, water in the class. But that's why, boom, I remember that. And that's why I say to the kids too. So, but the kids bring in stuff for lunch sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to record morning announcements, kiddos, go to college, get a degree in education.
I'm a principal. Boom. There you go.
You can record announcements.
Yes.
Just that easy.
Yeah, that's the thing though too. I mean, we're always getting asked about that now. Like, well, I mean, I guess we really don't. And then of course next year we're gonna have to really shorten them because we're gonna try to fit into the 5-minute announcements. Maybe for Mondays though, if we do our win, we'll just do a smidge longer.
Yeah.
So they can get to know us a little bit. So
this is how a lot of our kids have figured out who we are and what we are.
So.
And the parents, according to Ms. Barber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a parent yesterday say thank you for all the consistency and.
Yeah, the parents watch his announcements. I know a lot of them do, and
we're extra famous.
So and also so now sixth graders, hello from the South Gym today, and then from your new spaces. It was interesting yesterday. We were watching, and I guess because I've been here for this is my 14th, 15th year. Mrs. Seams has always been 601. I think she's been 601 since the school opened around her. Maybe I guess 1984. So the school was open for like 30 years before she got here. But she's been here forever. And yesterday, like she had to move out of 601, which is like that's always been Mrs. Seams' room. And like every other teacher around here has had to move out of their classroom at least one time since I've been here. I mean, Miss May kind of moved out for the summertime, moved back in, but she's always been in band. But no, just kind of, it was interesting to see 601 empty.
Weird.
And then they were moving, and I was walking into different classrooms last night when they were moving, and it was just now it's all empty in there. And so for those of you who don't know, they're going to take that they're going to take it all the way down to the foundation, which is right underneath the carpets because there's a lot of concrete back there. Mm-hmm. They're going to pour the concrete up here to the fence. I point out here, but it's just out front. And then you're gonna look almost identical to the 7th and 8th grade wing when we finish, but it's gonna take a little less time because they don't have to put down a foundation, at least part of
Cool
the foundation.
Mhm.
And they did a lot of the foundation work earlier too. So you see out here, the bricks are already there. They're ready to go. So they're going to be pulling electricity stuff today. And
And
then
they're not wasting any time. Like it's starting today.
no,
Like,
they're going to start pulling some, they're pulling some electrical stuff today. I had to pull the wireless access points out of here for the internet, the voice lifters, the LCD projectors,
Mhm.
pulling all that out. And then you're going to see just demolition and a rebuild. So I would bet the demolition will be done prior to, by about May. You'll start seeing some framework go up that month. Then when you're back, it's interesting when you see construction, like even the 8th and 7th, 8th grade wing look the same for forever, but they're doing so much on the inside.
Mhm.
And so once they get that roof and things up this summer, you'll come back in August and think, why can't we move in there? Well, they'll be doing a bunch of stuff inside that
But
you
what's
just can't
interesting
see.
is they missed all that 7th and 8th grade stuff because we all left on March 12th and
Yeah.
didn't come back.
See that demolition. Like when I came in here, we had to deliver some signs for the referendum on a weekend, and I came in here and all of a sudden like half the 8th grade was gone. I could actually see inside Miss Golnick's old classroom, and it was just the cabinets above there that they were ready to go further. I'm like, that's weird. I've never seen the classroom from this side before with no outside
Yeah.
wall.
Kind of get to see like the stages. Like, so I think that's always cool.
So yeah, you'll probably be able to see pretty much daily them tearing things out, and you kind of already see the fencing going around so they can kind of be back in. And so no, I mean, then when you come out here, you'll see a building, but it won't be ready. It's like the cafetorium looks completely different than what it's going to originally form. When you come back in August, cafetorium will be completely done.
Mhm.
And then our current cafeteria will be Miss Jordan's storage for a social worker. It'll be ISS, which we haven't had to use this year and hopefully never have to use next year, but we know it might happen. And then a whole bunch of bathrooms for concerts, and then for athletics, any kind of thing we run, just guest bathrooms. There used to be 2 by Miss Clarkson's desk way back when, and those were gross. There's going to be like a full-on lot of bathrooms for visitors and for you guys to use too, even during lunch. So it just keeps
Exciting.
coming. So,
Here we go again.
then after October, then Miss Muller and Miss Baxa had to move all their books down to the power play room.
Mhm.
But I told them they can only move one book at a time, so it's going to take a while.
Time.
So yeah.
That's-
Okay.
So yeah, no, I mean, it's exciting time.
Yes,
West Lane Change. By the time we're done here, and again, December 2022, so I think you 6th graders will still be here. This school will look brand new.
Mhm.
Like really brand new.
Really brand new.
And yeah, so even we're gonna have some, like, I know in the South Gym where the outside doors go, for those of you who've been in the South Gym before, they're gonna put some windows around it so all that natural light will come in. It'll look really bright. New floor in the North Gym. And those of you who've been in the North Gym, you need it. New bleachers everywhere. Everything is going to be awesome. So 6th graders, good morning from, or I guess good, happy advisory from your new spaces today. So
Yay, enjoy it.
Mhm.
be patient with the teachers learning their Promethean TVs, and be patient with the boxes you see around. We're not having them unpack them because, again, it's 6 months from now, they'll be moving them right back.
Again.
Yeah, no. So it has been fun to see. This has been a week of changes, and so we won't kind of see this again until October, November, and then we'll move back and we'll have a whole bunch of other changes. And so it's exciting though. But I know moving is moving is the most stressful thing I ever do. I've only had to move in my life 6 times, but only like once in the last 17 years, but I don't like it.
Moving's not fun.
It's not, no.
Disrupting.
Yeah.
I like to get rid of stuff.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. No one likes throwing away trash more than me. So.
I'm about that.
Yeah, that is nice, but it's like still, it's over. Even throwing away stuff, it's just overwhelming.
So,
Or donating. I like to donate to the Goodwill too.
the teachers have done a great job. I mean, actually, yes, no. So students, your sled desks that I think there's some people who have them. Eventually, all those sled desks are getting donated to some of our charitable partners. So we have a bunch of sled desks that are extra right now. Those are all going to a couple of different charities, and then tables and and
Mhm.
things like this are all going to other places. So it's kind of fun.
It's good.
So,
Get back.
Yay.
all right, so let's get to announcements.
Let's get it.
All right, today is Friday, February 26th, and as Ms. Barber just said before we hit record again, it's the last Friday. It's the last school day of February. We talk to you again. It'll be March.
March.
Yeah, I hear too, 60 degrees. on Monday.
Ooh.
Well, you know
So-
what happens in March? Spring happens in March.
Spring happens in March. Greatest
March
season,
Madness.
the greatest season of all four. Summer's pretty awesome.
Summer's
Fall's
great.
pretty awesome, but spring is just that. I think because you have winter. I think it's awesome. And then winter wasn't really winter this year, but it did kind of rear its head here the last couple of weeks, and that's been not fun.
Who needs to stop that nonsense?
Yeah, exactly. So next week is March, and I know it's gonna be nice on Monday, but make sure we do our modules on that Monday, getting those done. Make sure we show up for advisory. So, all right,
March.
announcements. Today's Friday, February 26th, 2021. Here we go. Students, start your day at Canvas. Every day starts at Canvas, msdwt.instructure.com. Parents, start your day at westlaneparents.com and the parent portal. We also have Parent Square. It has all the weekly updates. You can make sure you look for a weekly update this Sunday at 7:15. All right, let's be responsible on Zoom. Ms. Vinson.
To be responsible on Zoom, make sure that you log in 5 minutes before class starts and make sure that your device is charged. Use the restroom and eat snacks before the class meets and ask questions when you do not understand.
All right, be responsible in the room, Ms. Barber.
Okay, kiddos. Let's be responsible by making sure we bring our device and charger every day. Be sure your device is charged. Ask questions when you don't understand and keep everything you'll need and leave what you don't in your backpack on the back of your chair.
Or now you can leave it on the side of your desk too.
Right, I forgot about that.
Because the ruckus chair would move with the backpack on it.
That's right. So put that on that little hook
Yep.
right there.
Yeah, we need to find out something that we can do with ruckus thing. And I also too, look for this. So yesterday, Mr. Pitcock, at least I was in a meeting about the LGI and what you kind of see out of that space. So look for some of that, students. I might ask you what you might see from the space, what you want to see in the LGI. So I'll ask your teachers as well.
Cool.
All right, technology issues, please call 317-254-5566 or go on to Parent Square and right below the weekly schedule, go ahead and enter your information on that technology form. Don't forget, SAFE, the Student Alliance for Equity, Wesleyan Student Alliance for Equity. The next meeting is Monday, March 1st, 12:05 to 1 o'clock on Zoom. All club info and Zoom links can be found in the SAFE Canvas course. And if you have any questions, please, of course, email Mrs. Courtney through the SAFE Canvas page.
Mhm.
All right, now we know that February is technically over, and so Black History Month is over. But we have a bunch of impact messages to share out. So even though this is the technical last school day of Black History Month, we're going to continue this. And again, too, we want to make sure that we continue to know that Black History Month, Black history is our history, and the impact goes throughout years. So we're going to keep doing this, and we're going to spread it out next year too. For this, we'll kind of make sure that when we talk about impact, because we've got some, we want to get back to recognizing students who make an impact, teachers make an impact, and then also to famous people or people around the community making an impact. So we're going to spread these out starting in back next week. So, but we wanted to focus though, because it is a focus of this month, Black History Month, and today's focus, 2 students in Miss Corey's class would like to honor Maya Angelou. She wrote "I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings," which was about her life in the South. And she also worked with Dr. Martin Luther King and other civil rights leaders to put a permanent end to segregation. And Carlos Perez was, she was like you to know that Angelou was a poet, civil rights activist, and with a colorful and troubling past highlighted in her most famous autobiography, "I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings." And she published 7 autobiographies, 3 books of essays, several books of poetry, and is credited with a list of plays, movies, and television shows spanning over 50 years. And she was the first person I ever realized that was a poet laureate when Bill Clinton named her as poet laureate in '93. I didn't realize there was one. I know Robert Frost has been one for John F. Kennedy. But I really didn't know poet laureate until Maya Angelou. So she spoke during his inauguration. So I guess that's one of those things we don't pay attention. But so Maya Angelou, thank you, though, Carlos and Claire from Miss Corey's advisory for recognizing Maya Angelou.
Very nice.
Mhm. Could you imagine having so much in your life you could write 7 autobiographies?
Right. I think that's like and it's not, and I think too, Carlos hit it correctly. A troubling, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happened to her that was not pleasant. I think that's something too that we have to, we don't want to gloss over, but several people, what impact is because of their impact was because of wrongs that were happening. And I think that's something to realize is important, that, like we talk about John Lewis and Rosa Parks, and those impacts of those people was born out of injustice. And I think that's, not all people have been born out of injustice, but I think that's important to realize too, that a lot of people were just standing up for justice again in the face of oppression, and that's why they have had such an impact on people.
Mhm. Absolutely.
All right, so we have birthdays today.
Happy
Jabel Davis, happy birthday.
Bell.
Devin Harris, happy birthday, Devin.
Birthday, Devin.
Jaslyn Miller, happy birthday, Jaslyn.
And happy birthday.
And happy birthday, Layla Scott Knox.
Happy birthday.
So we don't have any birthdays tomorrow. We're blank tomorrow. And then Sunday, February the 28th, last day of February. And I don't think we have anybody who was born on February 29th, which happens every 4 years. But Symphony Martin is her birthday on Sunday.
Yay. Hey.
Fernando Patina Ortega, happy birthday, Fernando. And then here we go, our Wildcat Sport Report. Don't forget that spring sport callouts are next week. Girls tennis is March 1st. That's with Coach Courtney and Coach Marble. And that's open for any 6th, 7th, or 8th grade girl that's interested. We have boys baseball on March 2nd. That's with Coach King and Coach Rogers. That's for any 7th or 8th grade boy that's interested in boys baseball. We have girls softball with Coach Roach and Coach Sheridan for any 7th and 8th grade girl interested in trying out for softball. And then Friday, we have our girls and boys track. That's any student here at Westline who wants to be on the track team, please reach out to Coach Brewer and Coach Doss. Coach Keys will be helping out with sprinters, but Coach Keys is not in the building. So make sure you reach out to Coach Brewer and Coach Doss for any details. And it's a NIXL dance party in the new spaces. All right, so
Oh, no, that's
today's
like
man- that goes long. You know what? We should just make that like a 20-minute song. But
he has a 20
that's the
minute.
longest. Get excited for IXL, and as so today's math, and so make sure you're on there. Make sure you're getting to your diagnostic piece, and it should be like you should see dots. That's how you know you're diagnosed. Your dots are in the IXL piece. And don't forget, the mission of Westlake Middle School is to develop lifelong learners and globally minded citizens by fostering the academic, creative, and social skills needed to achieve excellence in a multicultural environment. Every Wildcat, every day gets better.
That's right.
Oop, nope. Stop
Just
share.
a reminder, we're going to IXL.
Again.
We're back. Well, so that mission statement is we've used that for the last 3 years, because it kind of matches the districts and IBs. But we, for those of you who don't know, that we're kind of going away from IB next year, and so it might be time to refresh our mission. And I know that those of you that we have relatives that go to Crooked Creek, or you at Crooked Creek, you have that affirmation. We might look at something with using students and teachers to kind of come up with a mission of a middle school and an I can statement that we talk about every day. So be listening for that. We'll probably use a lot of you just to get input. We talk about student voice, and so I really would like student voice in like the LGI spaces. Like right now, you see those big spaces at the end of the hallway with the whiteboards by the math rooms in 7th and 8th grade. Eventually, we're gonna get furniture for that, but before we get furniture, we'd like to go. What's your vision for that? I'm gonna ask teachers and students what they'd like to see, and so then we might even have some test furniture up there for you to try out. So we want to, yeah, student voice is important for us, and we want to make sure that you have a voice in what we're doing here. So, Mono, be good. Hey, listen, be good to each other. Put a little love in your heart, and put a little love in your Friday. So, thank you, everybody.